Are you ready to learn the secret to take proper knowledge transfer? My name is Sunil Sharma, Agile consultant based in Netherlands, and in this video, I'm going to share with you top 6 tips that will help you to get effective KT in no time. By taking these steps, you can ensure that you have a thorough understanding of the team, project, and organization, and are well equipped to fulfill your role as a Scrum Master. Plus, as a bonus at the end, I will share with you not 5, not 10, but 20 questions which you should ask to your Scrum Master and Agile coach to make your life easy. If you find value from this session and want to see more content like this, please give it a like and consider subscribing to our channel. Your support means a lot to us and help us to create more content for you. So let's begin. Okay. So as a new Scrum Master, knowledge transfer is especially important because it can help you quickly become familiar with the project and your team's roles and responsibility. So here I have listed few specific reasons that why knowledge transfer is important for a new Scrum Master. So the very first point is understanding the project. So knowledge transfer can help you get up to a speed on the project's goal, objective, and timelines, as well as the team's progress and any challenges or issues they are facing. Now, this can help you to better understand the project and how to effectively support the team. The next important point is building the trust. So by sharing knowledge and expertise with the team, you can establish yourself as a reliable and trustworthy leader. Now, this can help build trust and respect among team members and facilitate better collaboration. The third important point is identifying areas for improvement. So through knowledge transfer, you can learn about the team's current processes and identify areas where improvements can be made. Now, this can help you identify opportunities to optimize the team's work and increase efficiency. The fourth important point is providing support. So as the Scrum Master, you are responsible for supporting your team and helping them achieve their goals. So by transferring knowledge, you can better understand the team's need and provide the necessary support and resources to help them succeed in future. So overall, the knowledge transfer is essential for a new Scrum Master because it helps you to understand the project and team, build trust, respect, identifies areas for improvement, and provide effective support to the team. So now let's move on to the 6 steps. So I'm going to tell you what you can do, and I'm also going to give you a script, like how you can frame your questions in that. So very first thing is which you should do when you join a new team, you should schedule a meeting with the previous Scrum Master to discuss the current state of the team, project, and the organization. So you can ask about any challenges or issues that are in the past and get a sense what has been working well and what could be improved. So for example, you might say that, okay, hi Rob, I'm excited to start my new role as a Scrum Master for the team. Could you schedule a meeting for next week or this week to discuss the current state of the team and the project and any challenges or roadblocks you have seen in the future? So you can tell him or her, or you can always put it in an email as well. So that's the way. Now, the second important thing is you have to ask the previous Scrum Master to provide an overview of the team processes, tools, challenges, as well as any current or potential roadblock. So for example, you might say that, could you walk me through the team current processes and tools and any challenges or roadblock you have encountered in your time as a Scrum Master? So I want to make sure that I have a clear understanding of the team's current situation and any potential issue we might need to address. So this is a second important thing, that you should be able to understand the team processes and tools which teams are using and ongoing challenges and roadblocks. The next important thing is you have to request access to any relevant documentation, such as the product backlog, team charter, or a release plan. So get that kind of access where all these documentation is there. So you will get an overview. And you can say something like that would it be possible for you to provide me the access to the team's product backlog, team chart, and release plan? And so that I want to make sure that I have all the necessary information to hit the ground running in my new role. So this is something like you can say to your previous Scrum Master. So the next important thing which you should do that you should set a meeting with the team and stakeholders to get to know them and learn about their roles and responsibilities. So this is again an important thing. So you might say that could we schedule one-on-one meeting with the team members and stakeholders to get to know each other and discuss their role and responsibilities in the project. I want to make sure that I have a good understanding of everyone's perspective and how we can work together effectively. So this also you can say to your previous Scrum Master. Now, the next important thing is you should attend the Scrum events and observe how they are run and ask the previous Scrum Master for guidance and feedback on your facilitation skill. So for example, you can tell him or her that could I observe the next Scrum event and perhaps shadow you as a facilitator. I want to get to know or how the events are running and how I can contribute as a new Scrum Master. So be there, just observe how the Scrum events are running. Do not try to intervene during those events, just observe. And if your previous Scrum Master asks you to help him in certain events, do that. Now, the next important thing which you should do when you join any new team is that ask the previous Scrum Master for any tips or best practices which he or she have learned in their time as a Scrum Master in that project or or in that organization. So, for example, you might say that do you have any tips or best practices that you have learned in your time as a Scrum Master that you think would be helpful for me to know as I start in this new role? Lot of time they have a lot of information which you will not able to dig out, right? And it will take a lot of time and energy for you to know that information. So it's always better to ask all these things to your previous Scrum Master. Now, the last thing which you should do that you have to ask your Scrum Master that is there any kind of opportunities for professional development and networking to continue learning and growing as a Scrum Master in this organization? So you can ask your Scrum Master that are there any professional development or networking opportunities which you suggest for Scrum Masters, such as conferences, workshop, online courses, or any COP. So you have to tell him or her that I want to make sure that I'm staying up to the date on best practices and learning from the other experienced professional in this particular field. So this is again an important thing, the networking part. So we have covered that thing as well in this point. Now, I have mentioned a couple of questions over here, which I feel is very important if you are joining a new team as a Scrum Master. So let me just put it over here. Yeah. So these questions are very important when you are joining any new team as a Scrum Master. So for example, you should ask or get to know, if not answer to all these questions, but most of the questions you should know. So you can take these questions literally like this, or you can make little changes here and there, but then you should know all these information. So for example, what are the key principles and values of the Agile framework that the team follows? So you will get to know the maturity of the team by asking this kind of questions. How does the team approach planning and estimation? It's again very important as a Scrum Master for you to know how the team is doing estimation and planning. How does the team prioritize work and decide which item to include in the next sprint? This is again an important point to know. How does the team handle impediments or blockers that arise during a sprint? So you will know the team dynamics, how the Scrum Master, PO, and the team is bonding when some kind of issues are coming during the sprint. How does the team communicate and collaborate with stakeholder? So whether our team is communicating directly with the stakeholders, with the client, or his PO is there in between. So you will get a lot of information by asking this kind of questions, right? Okay, let's move on. Okay, this question is again important. Like, how does the team handle changes or new requirement during the sprint? So if any changes are coming during the sprint, so is there any process which we have agreed on with the team, with the PO, right? Important question. How does the team track progress and measure success? Again, very important and critical question to ask when you are joining any new team. Then how we measure success for this team. Now, the next question is, how does the team conduct retrospective and identify areas for improvement? So go back and check some of the retrospective which your Scrum Master, your existing Scrum Master already had been done in the past. So you know that, okay, what has been done, and you don't have to repeat the same thing again and again, right? It doesn't look good. So spend some time, go back to their, whatever the tool these people have used, just go through it, check some of the action items, whether it's been done or not, closed, in progress. So had those kind of conversation with your existing Scrum Master on this areas of improvement, retrospective action items, right? Because going forward, you will going to obviously monitor and track those. Okay, the next thing is, how does the team handle conflicts or disagreement that arise within the team? So this will give you a sense whether my team is mature or not. What is their maturity level in terms of handling the conflict? Ask your Scrum Master what are the key people, people who are always going to conflict. So they're in a team always there. You will get one or two people like that. You know? So ask this question. This is a very relevant question. How does a team handle dependencies with other team or project? Again, very important for you as a Scrum Master to know that what are the different teams apart from your team to whom you have to interact a lot in the future, and what is their relationship with those teams, right? Where those teams sit. So you have to know all this information, right? So this is again an important question. Okay. How does the team balance innovation and delivery of value? Again, whether your team is involved in some kind of innovation or some kind of new improvements, things like that, and what is their approach of doing that? How does the team handle team members who are not meeting their commitments? So, yeah, so this is again a very interesting question. It will again shows the maturity of your team, that what kind of team members they have, how they are handling this kind of situation, right? The next is, how does the team handle scope changes or scope creep? This is somewhat similar, which we have seen in the previous, that if some changes is coming during the sprint, so how you're going to handle that. So this is, I think, a somewhat similar question. How does the team handle over or under capacity in a sprint? Again, an important one. So if, let's say there is a pressure from the PO that you have to deliver certain amount of feature or user stories, and if there is, I mean, the team members are on leave, so what is the approach of your team, right? How you going to handle those situations in the past? So ask these kind of important questions. How does the team handle disruption or unexpected event that impact the team's work? So yeah, sometimes some production bugs will come or certain thing will happen, right? So ask, is similar thing happened in the past? And if yes, what is the approach? How you have handled those issues or situation or challenges, right? So these are the important questions. Now, how does the team handle the team member absence or turnover? Same, moreover, same with respect to capacity. How does the team handle communication with the remote team members or stakeholders? So nowadays, most of the team members are remotely working, different geographies. So what is their appropriate way of communication with those people, right? Important question. How does the team handle risk or uncertainty that may impact the project? Yes, very important. As a Scrum Master, the very first thing which you should ask is the risk register. Whether your team is having risk register or not. If not, you have to create that. If yes, it's very important document to go through it. You will get a lot of information with respect to the project. I think this should be the very first document which you should ask as a Scrum Master when you join any new team. The next one is, how does the team handle team members' development and growth? Yeah, so is there any plan within the team as a Scrum team that how as an individual or as a team we will grow in future. Very important question to ask. What resources or support is available to the team for learning and professional development? So this is moreover same question. Both are like interrelated, dependent. So there are a lot of internal trainings, external trainings. So what kind of certifications people have done. So if you have something called like skill matrices, it's very important. You should have as a team that what kind of skills my team member is having, their certification, their skill set, different kind of languages, their expertise, things which they want to learn in future, right? So all those things will be the part of that skill matrix or skill, whatever skill register, people call it by various names. Okay. Yeah. So I think we have covered a pretty much very important things in this particular session. So thanks for watching this particular session. And if you find value from it and want to see more content like this, please give it a like and consider subscribing to our channel. So as I keep on telling, your support means a lot to all of us, and that will definitely going to help us to create more content for you. So thanks for all your support, your love, and I'll see you in the next one. So bye guys.